Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings. We have two for the price of one this time. We have the Beechcraft Bonanza V-tail, very nice looking aircraft, and we have the Piper Comanche. Both of these in a way were voted by people following my Instagram. If you're not already on there, Dreams of Wings 1. And I held a poll on there yesterday to decide whether I flew the Comanche or the Bonanza. And it was a flat out draw, so I thought, hell, why not? We'll fly both. And that's what we're going to do in this video. I have to keep it short. I'll explain why. But hopefully it's a fun video and that you'll enjoy it. And just take this opportunity again to thank you for watching this video. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you're not already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell and you'll be notified of all future releases. It's a small channel, but it's growing quite nicely, and anything you do like that will help it to grow. So I do appreciate it very much. Thank you. Enough of the begging. Enjoy the video. Okay, so here we are, no messing about. We're going to get airborne as quickly as we can for reasons which I will explain when we're up there. But for the time being, let's leave the Bonanza and beautiful Gertie behind outside a hangar at Goodwood, and let's head over to the threshold. Gorgeous day for flying today. For anyone that's interested, this was real world weather from yesterday, the 24th of April, around about 11 o'clock. Today, for some reason, the weather is quite a bit more cloudy and not fantastic for the purposes of what we're going to do, so I have cut that down. So before we go onto the runway, we've done our startup checks and all that sort of thing, so we just quickly want to get airborne. It's fuel pump on, landing lights on, strobe on, everything else is looking good. Happy with that. Let's go mixture full rich now. Check nothing's coming. I have a very small fly on my monitor which looks like he's coming into land, but I think we can ignore him. Alright, let's do a rolling start and get going. Okay, let's get our climb settings on here. 24 and 24. Turn landing lights off now. Say farewell to Goodwood. So we're just going to loosely follow the A27 and the M27 that it turns into. Just down to Southampton, come back again, and then we'll pick up the Bonanza and head down to Shoreham. So this is ORBX True Earth. I've been playing with a few settings, performance, but also trying to improve the visual quality a little bit. Of course, with True Earth, it's really playing off against the frame rates. I have to say, with this, I did give up on True Earth Great Britain South at one point, and then they did an update, and my performance now is a lot better, and I've kind of come back to it. Still experimenting with colours. Sometimes the ground colours seem a little bit maybe unrealistic in the greens, but I think that could be something to do with my setup as well, so I'm just constantly playing with that, just trying to get a little bit more realistic, really. So yeah, reason why videos have to be short. So I am on quite a slow internet speed, something like 10 megabytes per second, so it's not a great deal. And for me to upload an hour and a half video takes usually from about 11 o'clock the night before to about 6 in the afternoon the next day, which is fine if I'm uploading on a Sunday night, and then it can carry on uploading while I'm at work and it doesn't disrupt anyone else in the household. But of course we are on lockdown at the moment, and lockdown means that people want to use the internet. I need to use the internet to carry on doing my job, so that kind of cuts out during the day. So what I'm trying to do is make shorter videos that I can stick on upload last thing at night, and then we can then wake up in the morning, videos uploaded, and people can use the internet. So that's the explanation. Bit long-winded, but hopefully you understand. That's why I'm cutting down on things like doing full startups and that kind of stuff. Just lack of time, unfortunately. So anyway, here we are coming up on Portsmouth. White over there in the distance. Portsmouth over there, just about to be overhead caution. Yeah, still not convinced of those colours. I think I probably need to turn my saturation down a bit, maybe. Naval Dockyard. So anyway, how are you doing? I hope you are, I was going to say, I think of the right word, you can't enjoy a lockdown or anything like that, but I hope you are doing what you can and that you're happy and you're finding things to do. I'm very busy with work, luckily, so incredibly busy with work, so although I'm working from home, I'm working in the same room that I fly the sim in. They feel like very different rooms, and when I finish working at the end of the day, I don't feel like I've been locked down, so that definitely helps. I've never noticed that before. There's a naval flotilla out there. How fascinating. Must take a look at that sometime. I'm not sure if that's ORBX or if that's the AI ship add-on that I've got in, but that's interesting. If that's an aircraft carrier, you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe not today. But that definitely one for the Piper Cup. I'm not sure if I want to land the Spitfire on there, but you see, now you're putting ideas in my mind. Overhead Fareham now. getting used to True Earth. I've always been a massive fan of the old FTX EU England, although it wasn't photorealistic to the point where you could see your house. I always thought it gave a nice impression of a landscape, and it was accurate enough that you could do VFR and have an appreciation for the landscape that you were flying over. And I think the colours are quite realistic as well, but I'm getting used to this now. Obviously it's great for VFR. The only thing I still find unusual, seems to be more so in the south, is and it's not too bad here actually, the old motorway down there. In some places the motorway is a little bit greenish, whereas there it's not too bad. Southampton over there. There is Southampton Airport. So we're just going to start a descent now. Going to fly into the overhead and then come back round to shoot our approach. A steep descent here to bring us down over. This is ORBX Southampton. Cracking little piece of scenery. Bit of buffeting going on here. It's actually quite a strange notion in these times to think of people getting on a plane and flying somewhere nice and sunny for a holiday. How bizarre. Strange times. Still, at least we can fly in the sim, eh? Who's used to doing Southampton proper procedures, I'm sure this isn't correct, but we will get down safely. If that isn't the kiss of death, I don't know what it is. Actually flown a few times here from Southampton. With Flybe, and unfortunately, of course, that airline is no more, which is a great shame. a lot of good people there, a lot of new pilots who've worked their butt off to earn money, to get flying lessons, to work their way up, to start and continue a career in aviation. Unfortunately now have a challenge, but they were great. Used to fly from here to Scotland and to Ireland. Now this is when the point where I always think I need to set some switches up. So let's have the landing light on, fuel pump on, because it's always a bit hairy doing that while you're flying. Remembering that this has a 2-stage gear switch. Don't just plonk the gear down. Let's have some flat. Check, we're good there. Let's lock the gear. Flap again. Slightly above glide slope. Frame is being affected ever so slightly by something. Slight crosswind here. There we come, back on the power. Flap up. And we're away. Wow, she leapt into the air then. Gear up. Gear. So the fuel, the landing lights off at the moment. Turn back around. Just adjust the prop setting slightly. We can come back on the manifold pressure now. Okay, let's head back to Goodwood. We're going to do a little experiment. When we stop at Goodwood, I'm going to change the saturation. And you tell me if you think it looks better, okay? Is that a deal? I think I just need to tweak it down a bit. I've got environmental force running. Rex environmental force, and I don't know if that might be possibly having an effect on it as well. was originally going to go over to Bournemouth, but unfortunately, time not really allowing if we're going to get the Bonanza in as well. But yeah, interesting place, Bournemouth. I'm going to let you into a little secret, seeing as we're all locked down and we're feeling introspective and all that sort of thing. So when I was very young, in the early 90s, I had applied to, well, originally I was going to join the Air Force, and my dad, who was in the Air Force, kind of talked me out of that. He was very old school Air Force and didn't think it was right for the modern Air Force was necessarily right for me. I thought I was going to be flying all day, and he was explaining that it wasn't quite like that. It was secondary duties and that kind of stuff. But anyway, big regret in my life that I pulled out of that. But anyway, so I applied to BA, who were doing a cadetship at the time, and went down to Crane Bank, I think it was called, and did the initial test there. And there were lots of guys there who were, when I say guys, I mean guys and girls, who were a little bit older than me, but they all seemed to have PPLs, and I didn't get in on that. So I ended up training as an air traffic controller, and I went through the whole course to the end. Back then you started off doing foundation, then you did aerodrome, then you did area procedural, which is control of aircraft without the use of radar, and then you did area radar. Alternatively, some people after aerodrome got streamed onto approach, and that was kind of what I certainly wanted to do. I wanted to be near aircraft, and unfortunately, and this is my weakness, I didn't really enjoy area radar, and I stopped trying, which is quite pathetic, really. I didn't have the sort of long-sightedness at the time to think, well, if you stick with this, it's a damn good career, you're in the world of aviation, and there's things that you can do as a result of it. You can earn the money to get a private pilot's license and all that kind of good stuff. And unfortunately, I was just kind of bogged down. I'd loved doing aerodrome. I'd worked as part of the training at Gatwick in the Tower for a short term. I'd got some flying training out of it up to first solo. And I was stupid, and I just lost interest, and as a result, at the end of the area radar, I failed that part of the course, quite rightly got chopped. I think they could see that I'd lost interest, and that was that. Reason why I'm talking about this is because people sometimes say, why don't you do VATSIM, or do you do VATSIM? And I damn well should, and one of these days I will, and I've done it once, and it was great fun. And somewhere locked away in my head is all that phraseology and all that studying that I did, aviation law, meteorology, all this kind of wasted knowledge is sitting there somewhere. But yeah, unfortunately I don't have the time to really start digging all that out, and at the moment anyway, but one day I will, because I'd love to give it a go. But yeah, moral of that story is sometimes you got to look at the big picture and look at the long term, and unfortunately I didn't, and really kind of threw away a life in aviation. Very, very stupid. And if I could go back in time to my younger self and give myself a clip round the ear and say, look, just stick at it. It's a damn good career. You might even enjoy it, but regardless of that, get the training, pass the course, do the right thing, and who knows what could come of it. And that's today's lesson. Sorry, went off on one there a bit, but... So here we are, just heading back to Goodwood now. We are not far at all. One of the great things about Goodwood is that it can be tricky to spot. I say great thing because it's just another one of those little challenges. I have got my little nav map wound right out, so I'm going in the general direction, but this is going to have to be very much spotting it by eye, and I can pretty much see it now just on the nose. So we're just going to bring around, start the descent. Now. There's Goodwood over there, you probably can't see it on the screen. Start bringing the speed back a little bit. Okay, well, we're nice and stable. Fuel pump's already on from the last trip. I've definitely got to get some switches set up. This is such a pain. Let's get the landing lights on. Bring the speed back a little bit more. Let's dangle the Dunlop stud here. Touch it flat. Now, it suddenly occurred to me I'm so used to doing Spitfire approaches here where you come in tight and curved and round. I've almost done the same kind of thing. But, oh well. I'm sure we'll live. Looking forward to doing some longer trips in these actually. It's trying to bring a bit more GA to the channel, and these are great aircraft, and we can do some longer trips in them once I can get my internet back. And down. Sorry about the clicking, by the way. I have clicky rudder pedals. And they're getting louder, which to me is just a damn good excuse to go buy some new ones. Okay, let's cut across here. I do love Goodwood. It's a cracking little grass airstrip. I've never flown out of here, but I've been here. That over there, number 8, is the Boltby hangar, where, of course, Gertie, the Silver Spitfire, and Gilda, bless her heart, the TR9 is housed, and also the Boltby Sim that you've probably heard me talking about before. Well worth a visit once this lockdown is over and we have some kind of semblance of normality. Get yourself down there. Okay, so let's put the Comanche out of the way somewhere. That'll do. Don't want to get in the way of the Bonanza. Okay. Parking brake on. Avionics off. Give her a quick blip. Take the fuel pump off now. Strobe off. Take the landing lights off now before we blind everybody. Okay. Chop that down. And Meg's off. Okay, let's jump into the Bonanza. Okay, let's get going. Here we are in the gorgeous Bonanza. Love this aircraft. Need to put a bit more mixture on there as we're lean for the ground, but that was a little bit too lean. Yeah, beautiful design. Great attention to detail on the inside. ORBX did a cracking job with this. ORBX. A2A simulations, for crying out loud. ORBX on the brain because I'm at Goodwood. Okay, let's bring around. Okay. Should have done what we did before. We have got the strobe on. Landing lights on, should have done that when we entered. Multi-buoy, mixture full rich, fuel pump on. Let's go. I've adjusted the saturation here so you might see a bit of a difference. Let's bring around. We are going to do a quick flight over Tangmere. Hello, track IR went a bit then. Yeah, sun has come out and is now playing havoc with my track IR. There we go. That seems to have stabilised. Of track IR. Right, there we go. That's what I'm trying to. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Bear with me 1 second. This is going to go really weird for a moment. Let's go to an outside view. Okay. Reset. Yeah, cool. Let's close the blinds a bit more. is Tangmere. There is a fantastic looking museum there which I haven't been to, which I need to rectify. Huge amount of history down there. Just about to see the shape of the old runways and perimeter tracks. Yeah. Okay, let's head to the coast. Quick look at everything. Make sure we're not doing anything silly. Landing light can come off now. And fuel pump can come off. Must get some buttons set up for those. Wonderful English seaside town of Bonanza. Came here a few years ago with the kids and was treated to Spitfires and the Harvard flying out of Goodwood. It was absolutely fantastic. Kids had a great time on the fairground there. I was watching the planes. Around slightly so we can get a better view. There you go. For anyone that's been to Bonanza, there she is. Okay, let's get back down the coast, lose a bit of this height. I'm not seeing a massive difference, if I'm honest, with the colour. I think it's probably a setting in Rex Environment Force that I need to have a look at. It's looking good. Just a gentle descent here. The fly is still clinging onto my monitor. I think he's enjoying the flight. Maybe it gives him a sense of what could have been had he been born an eagle. Where am I going with this? I have no idea. Descent. You can see Shoreham just over there. Pretty much going to go straight in here. Maybe not. Just looking at the wind, which is very strong. let's put it down on the asphalt. So this small crosswind, it shouldn't make much difference. Okay, let's drop the gear. While we're here, landing light on, pump on. Forward. Get some flap.
Five hundred.
Height warning brought to you by GTN. Quick look around. Everything's good. Yeah. Slightly choppy there. See the effect of the slight crosswind having to crab just a little bit, not too much. There we go. So there you go, thank you very much for coming on board for this little flight. As I say, hopefully when this is all over we can do some proper long distance flights with a bit more going on, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for the company, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe, it just helps the channel to grow. Thank you very much, I shall see you around.